This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Monday, May 26. I'm Emma Albright.
And I'm Jacob Shropshire. The sun has set over Osaka, Japan, while it's just coming up over Orlando, Florida. Here in the Worldcrunch newsroom in Paris, it's just past midday. These are the latest headlines. Trump rebukes Putin after attacks on Ukraine. Threatened U.S. tariffs on the EU are delayed until July. And our daily quiz question comes from the city of Bruges. Our top story today is the Israeli airstrike that killed at least 52 in Gaza Monday morning, including at least 36 in a school-turned-shelter. The ratcheted-up attacks come after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Friday that a permanent end to the war would require maximalist conditions to be met. Israel has begun to allow aid to trickle into the enclave after more than 2 months of blocking it, but the UN has said the current amount of aid isn't enough. U.S. President Donald Trump rebuked the Kremlin following massive drone strikes on several regions in Ukraine, saying that the Russian President Vladimir Putin had, quote, gone absolutely crazy.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
The attack, which included strikes on Kyiv, killed 12 and injured dozens in what Ukrainian officials said was the largest aerial assault since the start of the war. The attack also came amid the largest prisoner exchange of the war so far and simmering hopes of a negotiated truce. The Kremlin brushed off Trump's remarks about Putin as, quote, emotional overload. As Trump issued the rare criticism of Putin for sabotaging peace negotiations, our More Than a Minute feature today looks at one major reason why Russia may want to continue, and even expand, the war. Emma, tell us what may be on Putin's mind.
Despite heavy international sanctions from the West, Russia has taken a lighter economic hit than many had expected. Indeed, rather than suffering from more, it's become dependent on it. Journalist Witold Gadowski of Warsaw-based daily Gazeta Wyborcza says the dynamic is reminiscent of Germany in the 1930s. The shift of the economy to a war economy began in Germany in 1936 and ultimately went further than it has in Russia after 2022. But both in Putin and Hitler's economies, the allocation of resources is largely carried out not through market mechanisms but through political decisions, which from an economic point of view makes little sense, Gadowski explains.
So what do these economic parallels tell us about Putin's options for the war in Ukraine?
Gadowski turns to Nazi General Friedrich Fromm's brutally simple analysis of Hitler's economic options in 1936. Either switch the economy to peaceful purposes or start a war counting on the spoils that would alleviate the shortages. The first option, even if Hitler had been more rational, was extremely difficult. Tank factories are not easy to switch to producing bicycles or pots. Demilitarizing the economy would entail enormous unemployment. Today, Putin has two similar options. Either convert the economy to civilian activity, which will be a very difficult task and will result in a sharp increase in unemployment, or he can continue to expand the war, counting on the fact that the spoils will alleviate shortages and eliminate some bottlenecks. Those spoils could include Ukrainian nuclear power plants, millions of hectares of fertile arable land, and above all, Ukrainian workers, voluntarily or forcibly incorporated into the Russian economy. Gadowski concludes that Putin knows that he is sitting on a ticking bomb of unpaid bank debts, which will explode sooner or later. He has a limited time to end the war, but the prospect of demilitarizing the economy may be even more daunting.
In other news, President Trump said he would pause his threatened 50% tariffs on the European Union until early July after a call with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen late Sunday. The delay, the two said, will give the bloc time to negotiate a trade agreement with the U.S. while avoiding a trade war escalation. The U.S. and EU had already been negotiating trade agreements, but Trump had criticized the talks for moving too slowly. Among international newspapers Monday, French sports daily L'Equipe features an emotional front-page photo of Rafael Nadal bidding farewell to the tennis legend at Roland-Garros. The headline, Rafa pour toujours, or Rafa forever, reflects the emotion on the first day of the French Open as Nadal received a tribute in front of a packed crowd and in the presence of fellow tennis greats like Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray. After 14 titles, Nadal leaves the court, but his legacy as the King of Clay remains eternal. We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which comes to us from Belgium. The city of Bruges issued a public request that tourists stop stealing iconic pieces of the city. What are authorities tired of replacing? A. Posters for waffles. B. Statues of peeing babies. C. Empty beer kegs. Or D. Cobblestones from the streets. The correct answer is D. The city of Bruges has requested that tourists stop taking cobblestones from the UNESCO-recognized medieval streets. It costs about €200 per square meter to fix the damaged spots and can pose safety hazards to pedestrians. The city is just the latest in Europe attempting to cope with over-tourism.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!